Kevin Costner was born Kevin Michael Costner on January 18, 1955 in Linwood, California, into a working-class family that valued discipline, resilience, and humility. His father, William Costner, worked as an electrician and later a utility executive, while his mother, Sharon Ray, dedicated her career to social services as a welfare worker. As the youngest of three boys, Kevin grew up constantly on the move, relocating often due to his father's job. Those early years of transition shaped him deeply, teaching independence and emotional self-reliance at a young age. He was never groomed for stardom, nor did he grow up dreaming of red carpets or awards. Instead, he found comfort in storytelling, imagination, and observation. These quiet foundations, formed far from Hollywood glamour, would later become the emotional backbone of his performances and his unmistakable screen presence. Discovering purpose beyond practicality. Costner attended California State University, Fullerton, where he studied marketing and finance, choosing a practical path that felt responsible rather than romantic. Acting was not yet part of the plan. That changed late in his college years, when a chance encounter with actor Richard Burton on a flight left a lasting impression. Burton's words about dedication to craft struck Costner with unexpected force. It wasn't about fame, it was about purpose. After graduating, Costner committed himself fully to acting, enrolling in classes and performing in small theater productions, while juggling construction work and odd jobs to survive. Those years were marked by rejection, uncertainty, and long stretches without recognition. Yet he persisted, driven by a quiet confidence rather than loud ambition. That slow, uncertain beginning grounded him, instilling a respect for the work that would remain with him long after success arrived. The long road to recognition. Kevin Costner's early career was anything but instant success. His first notable opportunity came in 1983 when director Lawrence Kasdan cast him in The Big Chill. Although his scenes were ultimately cut, Kasdan recognized Costner's natural screen presence and remembered him. That belief paid off 2 years later with Silverado, a role that finally put Costner on Hollywood's radar. From there, his career gained momentum, not through spectacle, but through consistency. He brought sincerity and restraint to every role, qualities that stood out in an era often driven by excess. Costner didn't chase flash, he embodied steadiness. Audiences responded to that authenticity, sensing something grounded beneath the performances. His rise reflected years of unseen effort, proving that longevity in Hollywood often belongs not to the loudest voices, but to those who quietly earn their place. Becoming the face of American storytelling. The late 1980s and early 1990s marked Kevin Costner's ascent into cultural icon status. Films like The Untouchables, Bull Durham, and Field of Dreams established him as a leading man who represented integrity, vulnerability, and moral conviction. He wasn't invincible or flashy. He felt real. His characters often carried emotional weight beneath calm exteriors, mirroring Costner's own demeanor. These performances resonated deeply with audiences searching for stories about honor, perseverance, and redemption. Then came Dances with Wolves, a project many considered risky and unconventional. Costner starred in, directed, and produced the film, committing himself fully to its vision. The result was extraordinary. The film earned 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, redefining his career and solidifying his place in cinematic history. Fatherhood and personal evolution. Fatherhood has been one of the most defining aspects of Kevin Costner's personal journey. He is the father of 7 children and has spoken openly about how parenting reshaped his priorities and emotional understanding. His first marriage to college sweetheart Cindy Silva began long before fame entered the picture. Together, they raised 3 children while navigating the pressures of rising stardom. Their eventual divorce in 1994 marked a period of reflection for Costner, who later acknowledged the difficulty of balancing ambition with family stability. Years later, his marriage to Christine Baumgartner ushered in a new chapter, including 3 more children and a renewed sense of purpose. Becoming a father again later in life gave him deeper patience and perspective. Despite the eventual end of that marriage, Costner has consistently emphasized respect, responsibility, and commitment to his children's well-being. A career reborn on television. In recent years, Kevin Costner experienced a powerful career renaissance through his role as John Dutton in the television series Yellowstone. The character, a complex, weathered patriarch fighting to preserve his family's land, felt like a natural extension of Costner's lifelong connection to Western themes. His performance brought nuance and emotional gravity to the role, earning critical acclaim and attracting a new generation of fans. Yellowstone proved that Costner's presence had not diminished with time. If anything, it had deepened. The series allowed him to explore long-form storytelling, something film rarely affords. Through John Dutton, Costner embodied endurance, contradiction, and quiet strength, reinforcing his reputation as an actor whose power lies not in volume, but in restraint. Robert Redford, a quiet influence. As Kevin Costner entered his 70s, he began reflecting more openly on the people who shaped his artistic philosophy. None more influential than Robert Redford. Costner has long admired Redford, not just as an actor, but as a storyteller unafraid to challenge conventions. Redford's transition from acting to directing, particularly with ordinary people, left a profound impression. Costner has described Redford as someone who never chased noise, choosing instead to pursue meaning. Their conversations over the years focused less on fame and more on purpose, on why stories matter. Redford's belief in independent cinema and new voices resonated deeply with Costner, reinforcing his own desire to tell thoughtful, human stories. The influence was subtle but enduring, shaping Costner's creative instincts from behind the scenes. Lessons that last a lifetime. Although Kevin Costner never ultimately starred in Robert Redford's A River Runs Through It, their discussions during that period left a lasting emotional imprint. Redford spoke to Costner about fathers and sons, about silence, regret, and love expressed too late. Those themes stayed with Costner, informing both his performances and his personal reflections. He has often said that Redford never instructed him directly, but instead helped him see more clearly. That quiet mentorship gave Costner the confidence to trust his instincts, particularly when making Dances with Wolves. Knowing Redford had taken similar risks reassured him that meaningful storytelling was worth uncertainty. Even decades later, Costner acknowledges that Redford's influence echoes in his directing choices and his commitment to authenticity over trend. Mutual respect without rivalry. In an industry known for comparison and competition, the relationship between Kevin Costner and Robert Redford stands apart. There was never rivalry, only mutual respect. Both men shared a love for the American West, nature, and stories rooted in moral complexity. Their bond was private, grounded in conversation rather than spectacle. Costner has often remarked that they spoke more about land, history, and responsibility than about movies themselves. Redford's founding of the Sundance Institute further solidified his legacy as someone invested in the future of storytelling, not just his own success. For Costner, Redford represented the ideal artist, principled, curious, and fearless without being loud. That example reinforced Costner's belief that true success lies in integrity, not applause. Legacy, gratitude, and truth. At 70, Kevin Costner's reflections on Robert Redford are not revelations of scandal or rivalry, but expressions of gratitude. He sees Redford as a teacher who helped define what it means to live creatively with purpose. Costner believes that if his films have ever moved audiences, it is because he learned from artists who valued truth over attention. For him, Redford symbolizes a path guided by conviction rather than compromise. As Costner continues into the later chapters of his career, his words carry the weight of lived experience. The truth he shares is simple and enduring. Storytelling matters most when it is honest. In honoring Robert Redford, Kevin Costner ultimately reveals the values that shaped his own legacy: integrity, courage, and an unwavering respect for the craft he has devoted his life